Welcome back. Second of 3 videos. What others know. How to access that. So, we time travel back to the 10th century. The Ghaznavid Turkish Empire of Afghanistan invading India, robbing and stealing the rubies and sapphires and diamonds and gold that the Indian temples had, that the Indian merchants donated to the temples, of the great prosperity that they had for thousands of years. And the great vizier of the emperor said, "Do not do this. They have a great treasure." And the emperor said, "We know. That's why we're invading." He said, No. Gold and silver, jewels, that's not the real treasure. The real treasure is knowledge. You have to become friends with them, so they will share their immense knowledge with you. And the emperor said, "Knowledge? We're not interested in knowledge. We want gold." And it lasted for another 50 years, and that was it. No more Ghaznavi Empire. And the Indians are everywhere today, billions. In countries like Guyana, they're a minority. In Trinidad and Tobago, they're a majority. In Fiji, they're a majority. In East Africa, they're everywhere. So, knowledge keeps you alive. I'm still alive because the knowledge educates me, it guides me, it enriches me, it prepares me for the future. So I can be the right person at the right place and find a right person for me. Knowledge. Empires come and empires go. Most of them survive for around 150 years. And then they're gone in the dust of history. The Mongol Empire, wow, Genghis Khan, from Russia to China. In 200 years it was gone. And they started killing each other. And today Mongolia is basically not an important country in the world. It is non-existent. Who talks about Mongolia? And when they talk about Mongolia, they talk about 200 years of Genghis Khan atrocities. Not so good. When we talk about India, we talk about 10,000 years of civilization. Books of science, astrology, mathematics, architecture. When we talk about China, we talk about at least 5,000 years of civilization. So there's a difference between a civilization which lasts for millennia and empires that come and go and they're overhyped. Wow, big empire. Just like I said about YouTube, the peoples have been hyping the great Mongol Empire, the great Roman Empire, the great whatever. They talk so much about the Greeks. It was 200-300 years and the Athenians and Spartans massacred each other. And that was it. It's been hyped up a lot. Rome? Wow! It was non-stop civil war, non-stop massacre of innocents. And basically, it didn't last that long. So, we have to be very careful when we talk about others. Ourselves are great. Others don't exist. And if you want to access others' wealth, which is knowledge, others' cultures, which is prosperity, then you have to go right at the beginning and find out how all the political, ethnic, religious doctrine, propaganda created blind spots, biases, gaps, where we don't want to talk about it because it makes us look bad. For example, the Portuguese. They talk a lot about Vasco da Gama. They have statues about him. He said that his mission was to murder, assassinate Hindus because they were not Catholics, they were not Christians. And it was okay in the name of Christianity. He could rape, pillage, murder, and rob, and that was his mission. Not a very nice guy. And the conquistadores did the same thing in South America. They exterminated millions and millions of innocent indigenous people who meant no harm to them. In fact, received them and treated them very, very well. But their fixation and fascination for gold, so they killed everyone because they thought that there were mountains of gold in the Americas. And millions of those conquistadores died in the next few centuries, lost in the Amazon jungle. Some of them found a little bit of gold, but coming back with that gold, not so easy. And then navigating the gold back to Europe, very difficult. We had 300, 400 years of piracy. So very few of these ships ever got back. All of this for what? Millions and millions of innocent people on both sides died. And these conquistadores were horrible people. People who were convicted of horrible crimes. War criminals. And they were taken out of the prisons, put into the ships, and given the order that for 20 years they had to kill, rob, and steal and bring gold to the Spanish Empire. So, they didn't access the knowledge of the indigenous people of the Americas who had created Machu Picchu, who had created the Mexican and pyramids in South America. They had vast knowledge. The Mayans, with their script, thousands and thousands of years of culture and civilization. They burnt their books. How much knowledge was lost when they burnt the books of the Amerindians, calling them savages? How can you call them savages when they built enormous civilizations and pyramids and cities, which today cannot be built? The Romans burnt the Library of Alexandria, which had books from all over the world. This is the truth. Why there are so many wars in Europe. Why we still have Ukraine, and we still have the mafias, and we still have all kinds of crime everywhere in all cities in Europe. Because the mentality is still the same. You can hide it, you can bury it, but history is there for anyone who investigates with intelligence. However, there is a lot of knowledge, a lot of learning. There are many, just in India, millions of sacred books written thousands and thousands of years ago, which have yet to be translated from Sanskrit to Hindi to English. Millions of books. The archive of civilizations like India, China, ancient Ethiopia and Egypt are treasures of humanity. And we will talk about that in the next video. Please continue watching.